Hello guys, this is Kiran here. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we have Preeti with us. She is from Aurangabad. She has done her engineering from Government College of Engineering, Aurangabad, Sambhajinagar. She's good in many technologies. I have her resume with me like Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You know Python?
Yes, I have done some of projects with the Python.
Okay, MySQL, C++, DSA, and many more things. So we'll be evaluating her on each of these topics, and you all can see how she is answering. She is doing her course, and I think it's over now.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. So we'll be going point by point, and she has good exposure to all the technologies also. So it will be great to take the interview for Preeti. Okay, welcome Preeti.
Thank you, sir.
How are you?
Very well, sir.
Okay. So how are you doing?
Very well, sir.
Very well. Yeah. Can you tell me about yourself?
Sure, sir. Myself, Preeti Tanaji Samse. I have completed my BTech from Government College of Engineering, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, and specialization in Information Technology Department. I have completed one internship as a data engineer intern in Celeber Tech company, and the duration was 2.5 months basically. And within that internship, I have learned.
Slow.
Okay, sir.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay. Within that internship, I have learned about Azure Data Factory, Microsoft Power BI, and ETL pipelines as well. And based on this technology, I have built two major projects, that is the food and beverage dashboard, and another one is supply chain management. Apart from this, I have done one internship as a teacher assistant for DSA in Java at Apna College, and the duration was 4.5 months. And during that internship, I have solved student doubts on Discord platform, and it was a paid internship. And currently I am working as an intern at ArrayList, like for the full stack Java. And other than academics, I was the cultural secretary of the information technology department, and I am interested in the sports too, especially in volleyball. And currently I am looking for a good opportunity basically.
Great, great, great.
Yes,
And it was long.
Yes.
So should I suggest something on this?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. See, whenever you are appearing for interview, you have great knowledge and great history. Okay, a lot of internship you have done, a lot of technologies you are exploring, right? So when you are giving interview for Java, so basically your summary should be more focused on the Java things. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And you don't need to tell the designation or company names, a lot of things. Okay. What I am focused on which things you have explored, like exposure. Like you can say, I have done one internship where I need to only teach to students, or maybe I was solving the doubts of students, like that. Okay. And right now I'm doing some projects where I'm using Spring Boot and Hibernate. So you need to convert me on that technologies.
Yes.
Getting my point?
Yes.
Whether it is free, paid, or this, you don't need to tell, because interviewer might not be interested in all that things.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So basically freshers make this mistake. So I will not say it's a mistake, but many a times what happens, people keep telling in the flow.
Yes.
Okay. So we can skip that. Is that
Sure,
okay?
sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's proceed. So firstly, we'll come to, what is your favorite subject? You wrote many things: Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, MySQL.
Sir, Java basically.
Core Java?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, how much you rate yourself on Core Java?
Out of
10.
like I believe that no one is pro, or we can say they excellent in each thing. So out of 10, myself I'm rating like 8.5.
Oh, 8.5.
Yes.
Good. And in Advanced Java?
Before some days I have started with the advanced Java. So out of 10, I will be rating 7.5.
7.5. Okay. And MySQL?
8.5.
8.5. Okay, great. So, it's more than 7. Okay. So, generally we treat people, if they are rating themselves more than 7 or 7, then they are good. Okay.
Yes.
So, I know, but you are excellent.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. So, in Core Java, which topic you feel mostly used in industry, or which is the important topic you feel?
Object-oriented programming system.
That is more important, you are thinking?
Yes, because
How you compare that with the collection framework?
sir,
I feel personally collection might be used more, but you are saying OOPS concepts are used more, right?
Yes.
So please try to convince me on this.
Yes, sir. Basically, collection means we are using all the inbuilt features which are present in the Java. So basically, like OOPS is reusability. we can say that, because before the things are might be get created, and upon that things we are developing some things by taking the reference of those things. So collection is we are using when we are like writing the programs and doing some things in the programming itself. But the OOPS is nothing like we are doing the programming, but we are using the predefined things and we are providing much more things on that, and we are developing a new things. So I think that the OOPS is like one of the best things.
Yeah, you are very perfect actually. Yes, correct. Because any class you make, it will have inheritance, right?
Yes.
It will have methods, encapsulation it will have.
Yes.
So OOPS concept will be used everywhere. You
Yes.
cannot use collection everywhere,
Yes.
right? That's why OOPS is most important if you understand the concept of it. While developing frameworks, it is needed. Okay,
Yes.
Just, that you said like reusability, right? One function can be used in many classes.
Many classes.
Now collection nowhere comes here.
Yes.
Correct. So great answer.
Okay.
Next is like in OOPS, okay. What you think about encapsulation?
Encapsulation is like, we can say this is one of the best implementation, or we can say the component of a OOPS. So it's like binding data into a single unit, and it's hide the unnecessary details. I can explain with the example. If we are taking the example of a car,
But when you say hide unnecessary details, abstraction also does same thing.
but the difference is that abstraction show the important feature to the user, which is does not done by the encapsulation.
Okay, you mean to say encapsulation hides everything, whereas abstraction hides
Unnecessary and showing only the important features.
that is in abstraction.
Yes.
But in encapsulation, you hide everything.
No, we can hide, does not hide everything, but for the client side, we can say that whenever a client like running the another code, so it doesn't disturb the before defined code. So it's using that code, and like in the encapsulation, as we know, the all methods are defined private and with the help of public modifier.
All
Yes.
methods are declared as a private.
Yes, and with the help of public modifier, we giving the access to define or predefine that methods. And with the help of getters and setters, we can achieve the encapsulation. Like we are taking the example of a remote. So in the remote, there are the circuits or switches are present, but the user does not need to know about that things. He is just only using the buttons of that remote, that the searching the channel, increases in the volume and these things. So this is the difference between abstraction and encapsulation.
So switchboard, you mean to say it's the encapsulation, not abstraction?
No.
But you can see the buttons.
Yes, we can see the buttons. So this is the abstraction that they provided, that you have to use the end user using that things.
Yeah, but still I'm not able to understand. Let's say there is a board where you there are buttons, okay,
Yes.
where you can switch on, switch off, and your fan will get started. Okay. Now that switchboard, if I look at the switchboard, whether it is a abstraction or encapsulation.
The working of a switchboard, that is user means used by the user, so it's abstraction. But the internal working, that how the internal like wires are get connected, these are the encapsulation. So we don't need to know that things as well, because we are the end users.
Perfect. So abstraction is outer part.
Yes.
Only buttons you need to know.
Yes.
No need to this
Internal part.
wires. But encapsulation, if I say, it's a binding of things, right?
Yes.
So all things are bound together.
Yes, sir.
Nothing like left out from the switchboard.
Yes.
You can say that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Next is like in real life or the things which you use daily. Okay, so where you see this what it called inheritance.
Inheritance, like we can say that mobile phones. Previously, like when I was a child, so that time in my family we are using the Nokia mobile. So in that it's a button type mobile, and currently we are using the smartphone. So there is no buttons, and in that Nokia phone we are does not provide with the video call, audio call, and like live chat as well. But in the currently we are using live chat, audio call, and sending voice notes as well. So this is the difference that we are using the day by day. That is the inheriting that features, and we are developing new things.
So what are the features inherited? What is inheritance here?
Inheritance means we can say that that mobile also define code for the inserting the message or getting the message.
Perfect. So you mean to say SMS feature was there,
Yes.
now also it is there,
Yes.
but some features are added. So we inherited some features
Yes,
and we
sir.
added some of them.
Yes.
And some features are replaced also.
Yes.
The way of doing things, right?
Yes.
So inheritance, can I say, using features of the parent, that is number one,
Yes.
and replacing the features which were there.
Yes, sir.
It's like a overriding or something, right?
Yes.
Very great. Next is like overloading.
Yes.
Why to use it?
Overloading means it's the type of the polymorphism, and polymorphism means we have doing the similar thing in the multiple forms, just changing some parameters, we can say that. And one of the type is method overloading, and it is also known as the compile time polymorphism. So method overloading means we are keeping the name of a function same, just changing in the parameters. We have the sum as a function, and within that we have the parameters int a and int b, and another one is the function we have the same name, that is sum, but we are just changing the parameters like float a or float b. So this is one of the example of overloading.
Okay, in real life, where you are doing this? That is what I am asking. If you are implementing any live project, okay, when you think that you will need a overloading concept?
As I say, we are just changing the parameters and keeping the name of a function same. So in my I can say within my real project, which is I am currently doing, it's a car showroom. So within that project we are using some functions repeatedly. In that I am using the functions, I think so it's defining the cars basically. So in that we are using the codes for fetching all the cars and writing the code, but another one we are using the same function, that is define the cars, and within that I pass some parameters like ID, because I want to fetch the details with the help of that ID.
So you mean to say you have two functions, one is fetch car,
yes,
and another is fetch car
without
any parameter. It was there in earlier function and now with a parameter.
Yes.
So that's overloading, right?
Yes.
Great. So see, Preeti, what I would say is, when you are doing project, right now you are doing project, okay?
Yes, sir.
So we have also done many projects in our institute. So what happens when you work by yourself, then answers comes in this way.
Yes.
Other people will just think just for audiences, I will tell, overloading means some function is there where int is there, then another function will have float, function will be saved, that's why it is overloading, right?
Yes.
But that is a correct answer, but incorrect at the industry, right?
Yes.
Here, when you say fetch cars without parameters and fetch cars with the parameters, correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. Then I would ask you overriding anything?
Yes, sir. Overriding means
Now
again,
give me real time.
Real time example means
If you have used.
just 1 minute, sir. I call recall. Overriding means basically we are putting the name of a function same, but just providing the different definition. We can say that in my project I am using the function as deleting the salesperson data. So its function name is the delete by person. So in that I am again putting the name of a function as the same, that is delete by person, but giving a different definition as with the help of a car ID. So this is the another definition. Same name of a function, but just different definition.
Okay. Okay. So it can be overloading also if you are increasing parameters.
Yes.
Right. Here user ID and car ID, there only user ID will be there, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's why this oops is very important, right?
Yes, very important.
Coming to collection, which collection is used more, or which collection you think more important?
So
as per your view.
I think so, as we know that array and other things are mostly important in the collection, and it provides much more inbuilt functions. So as a developer, they might be think that they have to do the things in the very efficient way, so that's why they are using the collections. And from my side, or according to my opinion, collection is like array list, linked list. These are the things we are just keeping as in the practical way, but we can use the hash map as well. And
can you store a relation to hash map?
ArrayList, no, sir.
We cannot?
No.
Relation to hash map not possible?
No. Because ArrayList is like storing the only integer types objects.
Yeah, but in hash map object, can you store a list or not?
Yes. Because hash map storing the key value pairs basically.
So value can be a list, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me any example where hash map is there and having key as something and value as a list? Can you make any example?
Let's say we have the hash map like key value pair. So we have the key of we can say the grocery man. So we have the key as a grocery man and the value as like a whichever things present in the grocery. Like let's say we can take the example as a we can say the chips pocket. So this is the value and one is the ID of that particular chips pocket. So instead of inserting again and again the values of things in that grocery, we can make the array list of that things. We can add another things as well, and we can directly pass that array list within the values.
Perfect. So I would say in simple words, grocery man ID will be there as a key,
Yes.
and values would be how many
ArrayList.
chips pocket he has, like chips packet 1, chips packet 2, chips packet 3, right?
Yes.
Can be there, right?
Yes.
Great. Hash map into hash map possible?
Yes, sir. Hash map.
Hash map into hash map possible or not? Can we store hash map into hash map?
I am not sure, but I think so. We can do that also.
Perfect.
Because
Yeah,
it's
we
as
can do
storing
any
the-
collection into any collection.
Yes.
How you remove duplicates from our list?
Duplicate. ArrayList is the collections concept, so it has its own method that is inbuilt. We are using remove method.
But by remove, it will remove the elements, right?
Yes.
But in our list, let's say there are many names, okay, like the Kiran Academy, like that 5 types it is written in one array list.
Yes.
I want to remove duplicates.
I want to say in the programming.
Not programming, I want to create hash set of the array list.
Okay. So we are storing that values with the help of hash set, which is storing only the unique values. And if we are storing the values in the again and again, that is the Kiran Academy in 4 to 5 times. So it's does not showing any compile time error. But after running that program, it stores only the one value for that.
That is in hash set, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my question was, let's say you have one array list and you want to convert that array list into hash set, okay?
Yes.
How to convert that? So you can pass this array list object into the hash set constructor, okay?
Yes.
So automatically hash set will get created. Understood?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. Next is how to put values into the array list.
We can use the add method for putting the values.
How to put array list into array list?
As we are storing in the ArrayList objects, that is the object data type, that is integer, character, boolean. So we can create, as we have created the ArrayList, so we can pass the reference variable of that ArrayList within the ArrayList objects.
Okay, so in add method only you pass the array list.
Yes.
Okay. But there is a more convenient method that's called add all.
Yes.
How to insert elements in the hash map?
With the help of put method.
Okay, great. What is the return type of put method?
Object.
Object.
Yes.
Okay. What it returns actually?
Means it's returning the defined, we can say the list of that particular elements.
Okay. It returns the object actually, as you said, but that object will be null if duplicate key not found. Okay.
Yes.
If duplicate key found, then the value would be whatever value associated with that duplicate key. Okay.
Yes,
Existing value. Understood what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
Put method returns an object. It is null always
Yes.
because there is no duplicate key. But if duplicate key found, then new value will be replacing that
Yes.
current value. Okay. And that current value will get returned. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So what is the return type of add method of our list?
Add method of a list. It's returning the again object values.
Boolean. Okay.
Yes, true or
Yeah.
false, because it's checking the values are present or not.
Yeah. Boolean. Yeah. Good. Great. When you need data type as a custom classes,
Custom classes
like say int, float, char is there, na? Like that, there are custom classes also, correct? Or user defined classes
yes,
that might be used as data type.
yes.
When you think that we should be using it?
Like user data, that is non-primitive data types which are present in the
Perfect.
Java. So these are the array string classes, we can say that, and within that we are using that.
But string is inbuilt class, right?
Yes.
Array list is inbuilt class. Arrays is inbuilt class. I'm asking when you will have an idea that I should be returning some custom class from some function.
Custom class
Users, employees.
yes. So for that we have to use these defined data types. That is, we can say that primitive data types. That is integer, character, boolean, and within that custom, for our purpose, we are developing some tools or technology. So that's why we are using that primitive data types. I'm not exactly sure on this topic that how to use that functions in the custom.
It's very simple. Like car showroom project you are creating. You might not have understood my question. So sometimes you might return as a car, right? From some function you can return a car.
Yes.
Let's say fetch car. So car ID will be passing.
Yes.
And on the basis of car ID, what is going to happen?
Car details are fetching.
And the return type of function will be car detail.
Yes.
So this is a user defined function, right?
Yes.
User defined data type, I would say.
Okay.
Correct, na?
Yes, sir.
So get car method has a return type called car details.
Yes.
Understood?
Yes.
So that was the question altogether. Okay. Can you explain me flow of your project?
Yes, sir, sure. Like basically my project is car showroom. Within that I have created two tables. That first one is the car and another one is the salesperson. Where salesperson primary key is passed into the car table as a foreign key for the fetching the details of a salesperson whenever we are getting the details of a car. So like currently I am going with the JWT, that is JSON Web Token, and in that project I have been started with the Spring Boot basically, and for the database I have used Hibernate. So because Hibernate instead of JDBC, I am going with the Hibernate because of the features of a Hibernate. That's I did not create the queries and other things also, and it provides the various features, that is creating the automatically primary key, and another one is like it's developing the queries as well, SQL queries, that is HQL queries, and we can fetch the details as well. So within that the car, I have defined some attributes for the car, like ID of that car, model, brand, after that the price as well. And the for salesperson, I am defining the name of a person, age and experience of that person. So this is the basically like we can say the structure of that project, and I am also
What is the structure of database?
Yes.
Can you explain the project, like how flow goes?
Yes, sir. Like for the car, I have defined layers as well, and for the salesperson also, I am defining some layers, that is DAO layer, service
So
layer,
two
and
modules are there. One
yes,
car module and another is sales.
salesperson. So car person has the layers as a DAO layer, after that service layer and control layer. And as we know that the call, or we can say the flow of layers is from DAO layer to service layer and service layer to control layer, and at the end it's going to the client side. So in the DAO layer, I have done the some steps of the database configuration, but as I am using the Spring Boot, so for that I am doing the connection step within the application.properties file. So in that I am storing all the database values, that is the username, password, URL, all that stuff. And then in the service layer I define.
Yeah, slow. Okay, no
sir.
problem.
And for the service layer I am defining the business logic, and in the control layer I have created some APIs. Like and for that APIs in the database I have created store procedure, because store procedure like
why do you store procedures?
Because if we are calling the function again and again, so instead of defining the logic or writing the code again and again, we can directly call that store procedure and use that store procedure.
Did you ever write a store procedure?
Yes.
How to write it?
Store procedure.
It is in a Java or in database?
In database.
Okay.
So store procedure syntax is like create procedure, and we have to give the name of a procedure, and within the simple parenthesis we have to pass the name, ID or anything that's
input parameters.
Input parameters, and then within the help of as begin we can write the query over there, and in this way we can create the store procedure. And for executing or adding the details, we can EXEC statement we have to use, and then we can execute that store procedure.
Okay, how to call that from Java?
I have created the store procedure add car by ID, and delete.
So the question is like how to call store procedure from Java. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So answer me.
So I have created the store procedure as add car. So in the Java, I am creating the REST API of add car. So it's in this way we can calling that add.
But where you are writing that store procedure name?
Within the REST API.
Okay.
Getmapping or postmapping, whichever APIs we are using, HTTP methods. So within that we are passing that names. But I think so like my mentor is saying that we have to create the store procedure, and I am giving the same name of that store procedure to the REST API.
Okay, perfect. Next is like in DAO layer, what you write?
We can say that in the DAO layer we are writing the database configuration. That is in Hibernate we have to defining the configuration, session factories, after that some sessions of a session factory as well, and the methods of a Hibernate.
So whatever methods required for interacting to the database, you will be writing in the DAO method, right?
Yes.
What you are writing in service method?
Service method we are defining the business logic. That is for exactly which data we want, or the which is the requirement is done by the client side. So we are writing that business logic within the service layer. So
how you differentiate between service layer and DAO layer?
DAO layer means we are connecting with the database. That is whenever we are doing some work from the client side, so data must be stored into the database. So for that database we have to use the DAO layer. And in service layer we are doing the business logic, that is for this particular ID we want the data, and another stuff like for fetching the details and etc. things. So we are done in the service layer.
So and then what is in the controller? what you write in a controller?
Sir, controller means we can say that it's a front face. Within that, we are using the annotation as @rest controller, and within that @rest controller, we are using @controller and the request body as well. So controller is like front face where we are creating the HTTP methods like get mapping, post mapping, delete mapping, and put mapping. So with the help of that, we can call that APIs on the means basically we are using the Postman, as we know that Postman does not support for the other APIs, it's just support for the get method.
So what is request body?
Sir, basically request body means when we want to give the data to the Postman, so with the help of that request body we are providing the data. And also we are using the request response, that is if we are getting some data from the Postman, so we have to use the request response. So this is the
request response is receiving data from the Postman, or request body is receiving the data?
Request body is receiving the data, and he like Postman, with the help of request response we are getting the data. That is the response from the Postman.
So you mean to say you need to write request body as well as request response?
No, we don't need to write the request response. Just
then what is the use of request body? It is only to receive a data.
Yes.
And if you write request response, what is going to happen?
If we are defining the API, with the help of ID we want to fetch the details. So in the Postman we are using the local host and providing the port number and then the REST API name. So if we are providing the ID, so with the help of that request response we are getting the details. So this is
how to fetch this ID?
With the help of we are using the API get car by ID, and with the help of curly brackets we are passing the parameter as ID, and then if we are using the request response as a annotation,
or request parameter or path variable.
Yes, these are the also annotations which are used in the Spring Boot. Then we are getting the details from the
Postman. Path variable is annotation, right?
Yes.
Which is used for
getting the details
of ID.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So you are working on REST API also, right?
Yes, sir.
You working means you know it, you studied it, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is REST API?
REST API means is like a stateful transfer that is providing. We have to that they are providing various APIs calls on the web application basically, because we want to get the details, we want to add the details, and we want to update the details. So they with the help of HTTP methods we are doing the REST APIs. That is, there are post mapping, get mapping. After that, the put mapping as well as there, and the delete mapping also there. So with the help of that, we are doing the web applications work very well ways.
Okay, what is the difference between get mapping and post mapping?
So get mapping means we can get the details. That is, we are fetching the details. As we know that in the CRUD operation, we are using the select. So select means we are selecting that data. So get mapping also doing the same work, but it is within the REST API. And the post, another one is the post mapping, I think. So post mapping means we are inserting the data. So this is the difference between post mapping and the get mapping.
Okay. What is the Spring Boot application annotation?
Spring, I think it's like for the adding the details with the help of @.
What annotation we use for starter class?
Spring Boot application. I think so.
Yes, correct. Okay. Why to use Spring Boot? Why not Spring?
Sir, Spring, it's the thing that is Spring Boot coming after the Spring, not before the Spring, because Spring Boot is just the started way of the starting the Spring. So Spring Boot provides various features, that is, we does not need to write the code much more, and it's provide the, we can say that, flexibility, scalability, or compatibility as compared to the Spring. So this is the way that we are using the Spring Boot.
So you mean to say Spring Boot is built on top of Spring, right?
Spring, yes, sir.
What is IOC?
So it's the inversion of control. That is, whenever we are creating the bin, as we know that in the Spring we does not need to create the bins, because Spring created that bins after initializing the Spring Boot application. So if we want to hand over the control of that bins, so that's why we are using the inversion of control. That is, we are giving our control to the another one. So this is the use of inversion of control.
Great. What is AOP?
AOP is
Aspect-oriented programming.
Aspect-oriented programming. So as we know that previously, if you want to write some statements in the programming again and again, like if we are defining any program and we want to write the statement before the method, after that method, or within that method. So what we do, we are writing that statements code again and again, and if another requirement is coming, so we are remove that code and again we are writing that code. So it's like much more working we are on that, and we are wasting our time as well, and the code's reusability is not there. So for that we are using a split object programming, that is it's
Did
provided.
you use in your project?
Right now no, but in the
You
previous
will be
project.
using. Okay.
Yes sir.
So, did you use Spring MVC?
Spring MVC no sir.
No. Okay. So, REST API you are developing, right?
Yes.
In controller, can we return ArrayList directly?
No sir.
Not possible.
No.
Okay. What did you do if I want to return ArrayList to the postman?
So that's why means for that we have to write the ArrayList code into the DAO layer, and then configure that DAO layer with the service layer, and then we are configure like service layer to the control layer. So we can convert like ArrayList fetching from the control layer with the help of APIs.
So, in controller, you will be writing method called getCars. Okay.
Yes sir.
What would be its return type?
Cars, like we are car data fetching.
So, many cars are there.
Yes.
Then,
so like if we define the car table, and we have to write the return type as a car, because we are getting the.
but that will be giving single car.
So we are getting with the help of get all cars. So
that's a function name, get all
Yes.
cars, right? But what would be the return type of that function? It's a list of cars. Okay.
Okay sir.
Okay, na? So if a list of cars is there for any function, then it will return many cars objects,
Yes.
many car objects. Okay,
Yes.
great. So you have good hand on Spring Boot, right? If I ask you to create an API, simple API of get employee, how much time you would take?
Just 5 minutes.
You can do that, right?
Yes,
So you have that practical exposure. Why we use Spring Initializer?
Spring initializer means because whenever we want to create the project within the Spring, so that we have to use the Spring initializer, because with
If we want to create project in Spring,
means in the Spring Boot basically, because it provides the dependency after that model, or we can say that the group ID, artifact ID as well, and we can add the dependencies from the Spring initializers. So that's why we are using the Spring initializer for building the Spring Boot applications.
which dependencies you add for building any Spring Boot?
So basically like Spring Web, after that another one is the dev tools. It's not for the anyone, it's for the developer basically. And for the database we are using the SQL H2 driver, and another one is the JPA as well there. But mostly I did not use JPA, rather than this I am using the web, dev tools and database.
Why to use dev tools?
DevTools is for the developers basically, because whenever developers are developing some things, then DevTools providing the inbuilt features to that developer, so it's convenient to that developer.
Okay. So like which feature dev tools is providing?
Whenever as we know that we are using dependencies for the reducing our work, because it has its own jar dependencies, so we does not need to get the dependency again and again. So developer also invoking that dev tools dependency, and he is doing his own programming, so it's does not need to get the another one is dependency from the existing, like that is Maven.
No, it is for faster reload. Okay.
Yes.
If you add dev tools, automatically your application will be getting loaded.
Yes sir.
In Spring Boot, automatically this Tomcat comes in, right?
Yes sir.
By default, which port?
8080.
8080, right?
Yes sir.
Correct. Okay, then in Hibernate, did you use criteria?
No sir.
Query.
No, right now no use, but
Then in Hibernate, what you have used?
Hibernate.
You are using Hibernate or JPA?
I am using Hibernate. But doing this project, I'm does not up to the point of the criteria. But I think so. After some days, I will.
So in DAO method, you use inbuilt methods right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why might be you don't know a list of cars and all that stuff. Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. What difference you observe between Hibernate and JDBC?
So in my opinion, I am good with the JDBC, but JDBC means Java database connectivity, which is used for connection between the application to the database. And Hibernate, it means each has its own features, that is it creates query by default, and also it's developing much more things rather than the JDBC. And in the JDBC, we have to provide the each and everything. So JDBC have to provide the queries as well, by the user side or by the developer side, but Hibernate do that things as well. So it's the convenient way to use the Hibernate instead of the JDBC.
What is composite key in database?
So composite keys means like whichever keys remaining from the primary key. So these are the composite key. That is, it can be divided further. Let's say we can say that Aadhaar card number, and the one another one is my ID. So ID is also a primary key, but another one is the like Aadhaar card number. It's also unique key. But composite key means it can be divided to the further way as well.
Yeah, so composite key is like a multiple primary keys are there. So those you can combine those primary key, unique keys, and then that combined collection called as composite.
Composite.
Okay. Okay. So did you use foreign key?
Yes.
Which scenario you have used?
Like currently in the salesperson, I have the primary key of a salesperson table. So that salesperson table primary key I am using as a foreign key within the car table, because whenever we are getting the details of a car, so we have to know that exactly which salesperson has like buying that car, and what was the name of that person, what was the experience of that person. So that's why I am using the salesperson primary key as a foreign key within the car table.
Okay. Can you list out, if you remember, columns of car table?
Yes, sir. Car ID is the primary.
Not necessarily that they should be exact. Just I'm asking whether you remember it or not.
Sure, sir. Car ID is the primary key of that car table. Another one is the car brand. Another one is the car launch date as well. After that, the brand and the price. These are the 5 tables which are present in the car table. And salesperson and also the foreign key, that is salesperson ID, is the column in the car table. And in the salesperson, it has the salesperson ID, salesperson name, salesperson age, salesperson experience. So these are the tables.
So you are playing with these 2 tables for creating an API, right?
Yes,
how many APIs you created in that project?
5.
10 APIs.
First one is the get all cars. Another one is the get car by ID. Then the delete car by ID. After that, insert car details, and last is the like updating the car details. Similar.
Okay, so what is the difference between DDL and DML?
So DDL stands for data definition language, which like defining the we can say the scenario or structure of the database, which includes the commands as create, alter, truncate as well, and drop. And the DML means data manipulation language, which is basically manipulating that database, and which includes the commands as select, insert, update, and another one is the delete. So select is not belong to the DML, basically it's belong to the DQL, that is data query language, which is used for selecting the data.
What is the difference between delete, truncate, and drop?
So like delete means whenever we are using the command as a delete, so we are deleting the data of that particular row which is present in the table. And like drop means we are dropping the whole table along with its structure. And truncate means we are just deleting the data, whole data, but structure remains same.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so I asked many questions on many things, right?
Yes, sir.
So you tired?
No, sir.
Okay. You know DSA?
Yes, sir.
What do you know in DSA?
Like in DSA, I know array, string. After that, ArrayList, linked list. These are
all DSA you are saying?
Yes.
Any algorithms you know for searching and element into the array?
Yes, linear search also, and binary search.
What is the difference between linear search and binary search?
So like linear search means we have to traverse the whole array list or array in the like a 1 by 1 index. But for the binary search, the array must be sorted. So in that we are traversing up to the middle part of that binary search. And this is the difference. But instead of going with the linear search, if you want to fetch some key from that array, we can definitely go with the binary search, because it has a less complexity as compared to the linear search.
Why it is helpful, binary search?
Because it's like going to the half part of that particular array, and its time complexity is order of log n, and for the linear search it's order of n. So we have to traverse whole the like we can say the array list.
What is order of n?
Order of n means number of parameters which are present in that array list. So we have to traverse whole the array list. It's taking the time.
And order of ln means?
Order of
n. Okay. So what is this for binary search? Is it order of n?
Order of log n.
Order of log n.
We are checking for the half of that particular array, half part.
Okay. So what is this log here?
Log means like half means of we are doing for n by 2. So for converting that n by 2 into the time complexity, we are using the log function, which is like going to the upper part of that log, and it's come to the login instead of n, it's going to the login.
Great. Then what is this nodes like? Linked list, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you explain in data structure like how to create a linked list?
Like we have to define the head and tail for the linked list, and as we know that linked list means connecting one node to another node, and it's going on for the multiple nodes basically. So head node means starting node, which contains the head and also the next data. And if we are talking about the doubly linked list, so it has the previous data as well. But if we are taking about the linked list, so it has the data and the next value of that particular, or we can say the address of next node. So this is the linked list.
What is queue?
Queue means like it's following the we can say the
first in first out.
Queue is yes sir, first in first out.
Only for?
No, first in first out. Stack follow the last in first out.
Okay. What is priority queue?
Priority queue means like we are adding the elements into the particular queue. So if we defining any priority for that particular element, so based on that priority of elements, it get added into the queue. So this is the priority queue.
What is the difference between linked list and doubly linked list?
Linked list means we are just having the address of next node, but for the doubly linked list is have the address of previous node as well.
Okay. So you have good hand data structure also. You're reading that?
Yes.
Okay, Priti, so you're pretty good in the technology. Okay. What is ADF?
Azure Data Factory, is the technology which is I have explored during my internship, that is data engineer. So in this ADF means we are creating the ETL pipelines, that is extract, transform, load, and we are deploying on it on the Azure portal. And for building the Power BI, that is visualization tool, we need the ADF.
You know, Maven, what is the difference between local repository and remote repository?
So like local repository means whichever dependency present by our side, these are the local. But from the remote repository means all the type of repository present on the remote. That is, we can say that for the database, for the Spring Boot, for the Hibernate, on another technology as well. And it's not be get deleted, because they have their internal work along with the another dependency, that the previous version also present in the remote repository. But the local repository means we are whichever dependency added by our side, so they are present in the local repository.
Okay. You know .m2 folder is there in Maven?
Yes, sir.
That is a local repository,
yes,
we can say. Okay. Automatically jars will be accumulated there. Okay. And remote repository means you can say like the Maven repository.com is there, right?
Yes.
Where the Maven repository website is there. There all dependencies are listed out.
Yes.
That will get fetched into our system and put it into the .m2
folder.
So .m2 becomes local, and which is in the C drive users folder, whereas the dependencies which are not yet downloaded would be at the remote repository. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So great, Priti. I like this interview, and you are from Aurangabad. Okay.
Means college is from Aurangabad, but I am from the Dharashiv, Usmanabad.
Usmanabad.
Yes.
Okay. Let Aurangabad people see you, okay, on the YouTube,
yes,
and your college people also, so that they will also know that what Priti knows.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so you have any questions?
No, sir.
No questions?
No.
Okay. So
because previously I have about your teaching and another things whichever you have provided by your side.
Okay, so you're happy with that?
Yes, sir.
It was helpful?
Definitely,
so,
sir. And
you think that you chose right institute?
Definitely, sir, because
you're enjoying this institute.
Yes.
What do you like in this institute most?
Most means like teachers concern for the students, helping, and most important thing is the technical department.
Okay, great. Okay, so we are streamlining everything, and many students are there, you know that. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe your friends also might be there in this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you, Priti.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sir. Yes.
So best of luck for your great future. Okay, and
Thank
you are
you.
already building your future. Okay, so
Yes,
not a problem. So everyone, guys, this was Priti, and she performed very well. And if I go for feedback, then she should be little slow on the answers, and she already improved while giving interview only. So that was one concern. Other than that, knowledge, she picked up many topics which general freshers don't, like DSA, Spring Boot, Hibernate. But in Hibernate, some part of the Hibernate she has not yet covered, so she will be preparing on that and she will be coming back again. But DSA was important. But DSA don't think big things. It is just whatever the questions I asked in this interview and she answered. You just remember those. And again, as usual, I say, like, don't judge her, judge myself, okay, and judge yourself. That's it. Because I am here to judge her. You are not here to judge Preeti how she is performing and all. So thank you. See you in the next interview. Bye bye.